Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Jeff Sutich joins us. He's Executive Director of the Nevada Builders Alliance, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're delighted to welcome back to the program Jeff Sutich. He is the Executive Director now of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. You were with NNDA, the Development Authority. Where are we at this point? Because as I read the papers, it seems like, we're seeing a lot of government projects that are going up, but as far as, regular construction projects, those have fallen a little bit by the wayside with this economy. Is that what you're seeing too?
There's a bit of a slowdown that we've seen just with industrial development and especially in our urban areas. More difficult space to do building on, and so there's more of a focus to try to look at the rurals to see what opportunities are there as industries are looking at kind of our regulatory environment. Previous projects that were coming down the pipeline pretty quick have kind of stalled a little bit. They're not going away. They're just kind of waiting to see what the environment looks like. So there's a lot of
interest rates would be one of those things.
Yep.
Cost of construction, cost
Yep.
of labor,
Yep.
lack of labor in some cases.
Yep. Or not the correct skilled labor. There could be labor here, just not the right skill sets for it. But those projects are still in the queue, and as some of the hurdles are crossed, those projects are still looking at coming to Nevada, which then creates great opportunities for builders. So a quick example is there's 2 projects getting pretty close to cross the finish line in Lyon County over by Yerington. When those ones come into play, that's going to be about 2,500 construction jobs for 6 years.
Wow.
And so those are just 2 projects, brings in that many jobs. So that's pretty neat.
Okay, so would that be a man camp situation?
That's another discussion. Yeah, where are they going to live? Where are they going to stay or drive from? And what is the county going to allow them to do? Is there an opportunity for maybe hotel development, for entry-level single-family home development? Will man camps be allowed? Or if they do, does it have to be tailored to have some long-term homes afterwards? So that's a discussion down the line. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
That's really interesting because you would think that just the development itself
would be exciting and, generating the tax base. But whether there's discussion about a man camp or not, I mean, if anybody's been watching Landman, those man camps are not awful anymore.
I was talking to a gentleman from Texas the other day, and he was telling me how amazing they've become in the amenities and the food and the I guess just the different things that they can do in those man camps to make it so luxury to try to recruit that workforce. And
Right,
so
exactly.
It's interesting. I hadn't heard of that until about a month ago.
And Winnemucca, there was no way that they were going to increase the population by 20% during the construction of Thacker Pass,
Yeah.
and not have some kind of man camp. And so the only thing they were concerned about was policing for Friday nights.
Yeah. And in those more mining centric communities, the man camps and those types of developments are more common and easier to get past through the regulatory framework.
So you're talking about Lyon County, Pumpkin Hollow. You would think with the price of copper going through the roof that would spur the mine. But unfortunately, mining and current pricing doesn't always work out because they have to look long-term in terms of that. Are you hearing anything at all about new ownership for Pumpkin Hollow?
There were 4 different companies kind of kicking tires looking at that project. That was while I was at NNDA, and so I haven't heard where it's at in the last couple of months, but there was interest there to try to scoop that up, as well as other projects nearby there to get up and running. So there's definitely demand for it and interest. It's just, what's the timing look like?
One of the things that's fascinating about where we are in Nevada at this point is that rural Nevada it has just got so much opportunity for boom times. And you look at what's going on in Fernley with the Victory Logistics Park. I mean, that thing is just going gangbusters.
It is. It's a great opportunity. General Rick Nelson out there is doing a great job just corralling everybody and getting projects moving and on the supporting workforce efforts with WNC. And really just looking regionally with transportation and with critical minerals. He's a part of doing a lot of stuff with Washington and some big grants, trying to get some big grants to help support some of these efforts, which will be really, really good for the region if these land.
The Builders Alliance has been very much involved in workforce development for quite a few years now. How's that coming? The university systems, both WNC and also UNR?
So there's a lot of opportunity, and it's fun coming into this program with so much infrastructure already in place that we can take it to different levels, and on the workforce side within construction, being able to look at kind of that grassroots effort of getting students interested in the trades and put into programs with different trade companies within the trades, construction companies or plumbers or electricians, and trying to help be on that grassroots to drive those efforts, and then to have funds to help support it, but then also knowing the community and the different workforce entities to listen to the companies that are coming here, what are their needs, listening to the builders, what are their needs, and then communicating with, say, Dr. Dalpy with WNC, and then Rick Nelson with his program there in Fernley at the Victory Logistics District, to be able to just put it all together, find some of that financing, and start skilling up these students that can come into these different programs.
You would think that it would be an easy sell to be able to say to a kid in high school that you can make a lot more money rather than being a lot of debt by going on a university course in philosophy that may not pay off, but you can make very good money becoming an apprentice and then ending up qualifying. But this generation is not money hungry. They're not possession hungry.
So for me, it was all about even knowing what was out there. I grew up in Spring Creek out on the east side of the state. And if I had...
Outside of Elko?
Yep, 10 miles south of there. And so...
Near the Lemuel camp.
Oh yeah, beautiful area. And if I had known what alignment does, I would have probably gone that route. I love the outdoors, love to work out, loved heights. And there's a 4-year program that'll teach me how to do that and pay me while I'm going through it. And every 6 months I get a raise. And when I graduate, I'm making over $100,000 a year. I would have done that in a heartbeat. I didn't learn about that until I was well into my career working at NV Energy, and I found out about that. But I love my career path, and I'm glad this is the route I went. But that opportunity, if I had known about that as a student, probably my career would have been a lot different than it is now.
Project Greenlink, as you bring up NV Energy, continues to push ahead. Boy, I would hate to have to be one of those lawyers or the many lawyers that are involved in this with all the obstacles get thrown up, either from BLM or environmentalists, for two projects that are totally needed in this state.
Yeah, it's tough. And in the meantime, while you're waiting to navigate that bureaucracy, the prices are going up. So it keeps pushing that needle further and further and makes it more and more expensive. It's tough. It's needed. We need infrastructure. Infrastructure, workforce, and housing are what I would say is the three main things that Nevada needs to continue growing, and we should need to support it however we can, all those different avenues.
Okay, so biggest infrastructure projects. What would you say?
Greenlink is huge.
And that's multi-billion.
Multi-billion. There's multi-billion developments over there. Like I mentioned before, the 2,400 construction jobs, $27 billion for that project.
$27 billion.
Yep, it's big.
Wow.
And then you've got pockets all across the state needing infrastructure, needing water, power, sewer, gas. You've got a huge one coming into eastern western Nevada in the rurals. You've got a couple $1 billion there just on infrastructure projects coming in, and so there's a lot happening. It's just we need to be able to get it as fast as we can so that we're not losing these opportunities for businesses wanting to come to the area. And then as they're coming in, you got to look at what are the workforce needs. How do we scale that up at the same time? As part of those needs, they need housing. Is it attainable for the wages that they're going to be being paid? If not, we need to find the right housing and development for that. And then the workforce surrounding that. When I was early in my career, I was a labor economist, and it was when we were losing jobs every month. We didn't lose as many jobs this month, and it was a good month, and it was mainly in the construction industry. We haven't recovered since then the number of jobs, construction jobs that were in the state back then, but from then to now, we've increased 71%. So it's been a great increase for construction jobs over that time frame, but there's still more needed.
Okay, so was that around 2008?
2011. 2010, 2011.
Oh, okay. So when we were going through that recession at that point in time, one of the things that I was surprised at and then understood was there was a casino in Sparks that had a large construction worker population that frequented that location. And the general manager said to me, "They're all gone." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I actually went to their houses to see where they were. They were all gone." And it seemed that the construction industry is kind of like a pack. They move. If the jobs aren't there, they don't sit there and go on unemployment. They go where the jobs are.
Yeah.
How do we attract those people back to the state?
Well, these big projects, the 2,400 jobs in Yarrington, projects like that, and supporting these projects that'll build out that temporary workforce is a great way of getting them back here. The constraint then is how do we keep them here? When you've got these amazing man camps all over the place, I thought maybe I should go jump in and try to see what those are like. But yeah, finding a way to keep them here and keep projects here to support them is going to be a big effort and challenge, and having the available housing for them to live in and to bring their families to, I think, is a step towards that versus just the man camp. If there's options for them to rent or buy a house to be able to move forward and keep their families here, I think that's a piece of the pie. But then making sure that there's good companies for them to work for, which there's plenty of them, and great benefits within those companies, and just on that workforce piece, how do we do it? And that's definitely something that's not just a thing that our company will do, but this is going to take a tribe. All the different organizations and groups need to get together to really help support these efforts, I think.
Okay, so is this something that will be discussed at the 2027 legislative session in terms of what the state can do to help?
I think it should be.
All right,
Yep.
let's take a break. We'll be back more with Jeff Sutich after this timeout.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
The new year is bringing new ways to win big during the $175,000 Winter Wonderland giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $20,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jeff Sutich. He is the executive director of the Nevada Builders Alliance, a statewide organization. One of the things that has been frustrating for me, and despite the fact that I go back to D.C. every year and talk to our congressional delegation about these issues, is if we take the the government at its word, the border is blocked. There are no vast amounts of people coming across the southern border. This seems to be a perfect time for Congress to do its job and come up with immigration reform. It was always this big battle between, amnesty versus this versus that. Well, one side of this has gone away. Now it's the side to fix how do we let people come here? What are the problems you're seeing in terms of workforce? Because, we've had people on this program talking about it's not just criminals coming across the border. We're talking about my gardener. We're talking about my nanny. These are very basic jobs that are needed in the state.
I agree.
And by the way, I can throw in nursing, doctors.
Ranching, farming, construction. It's manufacturing across the board. So globally, in the advanced and developing advanced world, you've got 10 countries that are growing or so, and the top 3 are New Zealand, France, and the US. And we're barely growing, and we're in the top 3. And so globally, you've got this kind of demographic crisis that's happening, whereas the baby boomers are retiring. You don't have enough millennials or Zers to replace them until the mini millennials or Generation Alpha come into play. And so right now we're about
mini millennials.
Yep,
I would qualify for that. I come under the height requirement.
So my kiddos are Generation Alpha or my mini. I'm a millennial, so they're my mini millennials. One just turned 7 today, and then the other one is 9. And until they come into the workforce, we're going to be today 500,000 jobs short in the U.S. up to I believe the numbers are about 1.2 million short before it starts turning, and each year it gets worse. So just looking demographically, there's not enough jobs to go around. Yes, different industries will ebb and flow and they'll change, and there's the talk about AI displacing some and then having to reskill to get into other areas, but that's a lot of jobs that are short. And then on top of it, how you kind of fix that is you need to import those workforce. Well, if we're blocking that workforce from being imported, it's just going to make that constraint harder and harder.
Well, to address the AI situation, I think that you're going to see the same thing that happened with other industries going back all the way to the turn of the 20th century, which is where certain things get displaced, but other things have to be picked up. And I'll give you an example in relatively recent terms. If you go back 30 or 40 years, ATMs. When ATMs came out, the bankers were thrilled. They said, hey, they don't take vacations, they don't take sick days, they work 24 hours, they don't break down for the most part. And yet what happened was the banks didn't fire all the people, they found them other jobs to do. And I think that with AI, it's going to be a huge benefit, but I think that society will figure out what the needs are beyond the technology and will be fulfilled that way.
I agree. I think that it'll help us be a lot more productive in certain tasks, and it creates big opportunities for current workforce and for the upcoming workforce, and it just kind of shifts. We don't need a bowling alley pin remover person anymore because the bowling alleys do it themselves now.
What a dangerous job that must have
right?
been. Because some idiot like me will be throwing the ball and go, oh, sorry about that. Let's take another break. We'll be right back.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Ring in the new year with newfound cash during the New Year Cash Extravaganza only at the Carson Valley Inn. Win up to $7,500 in giveaways every week. Then win big with $10,000 in cash and free play during the grand prize party January 31st. Start 2026 with a bang only at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Jeff Sutich. He is the executive director of the Nevada Builders Alliance. Just going back to this immigration thing for a moment. You know, in England, back in the 1960s, they had a great shortage of nurses and bus drivers. And so they advertised in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, and they brought people over and filled up those jobs. I just don't understand why, you know, the Congress in general, and our delegation in particular, is just not yelling every day for immigration reform to be able to solve this problem. If ever there was a time to do it, you've solved the one problem, now fix the other.
Yep, and what a great time and opportunity to make a change because it has been so strict for so many years. Make it smart, but make it friendly to get.
Yeah, and I'm not saying open borders. I'm not saying just let anybody in. Do all the vetting you want to do. I mean, you make as many rules as you want, but don't make it that if somebody comes over and outstays their tourist visa, that they have to go back to their original country to be able to come back and apply for a job that they had 5 years ago that doesn't exist anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, and when globally we've got this demographic shift happening, let's do what we can to grab those skill sets and that brain drain and bring it here to help support our industries and communities.
Okay, so you're an international guy, as I try to be, and you raise a very good point, which is we are seeing a worldwide diaspora of people moving from where the jobs aren't to where the jobs are. And we should be picking up on that, not rejecting it.
Yeah, because it could go reverse too. It could go the other direction. So we need to be in front of that, making sure it's coming our direction.
Boy, that is kind of scary. Okay, so what are your hopes, plans, and dreams now that you've taken this position with the Nevada Builders Alliance?
So I've got lots of plans and goals, and I'm still learning the organization. We've got great insurance products, and we've got great support for policy statewide and at the local level. I'd really like to bring my historical expertise into the organization, really support business and economic development efforts and statewide, and become a great resource for everyone to be able to really push the needle and make a difference in these areas that are needed for the future of our growth, specifically in infrastructure and housing and in workforce. Really help develop and be a part of that conversation, developing these workforce development programs, really be a part of supporting local government, especially with grants, finding, applying for and managing grants if they need it, to get some of those federal dollars here to support infrastructure, and really just make something happen is the goal. I've only been there for 3 months, but I've got years ahead of me to help make something happen.
Well, and deep roots and connections going all the way back to your days at MB Energy.
Yep.
Jeff Sutich, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
Good to see you. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Check out our archives section on NevadaNewsmakers.com. Great interviews going back as far as 2002. Really worth watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.